Yo, from Kenya, East Africa, MORAA speaking truth. You feel me? Time to clear the air, set things straight. Let's go!
Hi guys, I hope that you're all doing great. Now, this issue of Mzee Joseph Kombo is actually becoming Kombo, just like his name. Oh my God. It is getting darker, more twisted. It is getting mysterious. It is getting bizarre. Something that started off so simple, guys. Mzee Ondari and his children just wanted to help this Mzee, take him back to his ancestral home, because this Mzee was suffering in Nyabohansi, guys. We all saw the kind of deplorable, situation he was in, the kind of place he was living at. Something, somewhere that is uninhabitable. No human being deserves anything like that. Guys, people have hijacked this, this good cause. People are asking questions that, I think they are, jumping the gun. I have heard, Mzee Kuhara asking questions, Okay, the questions that he is asking sort of makes, they make a bit of sense. However, this is not the time, guys. This is not the time. And some of the questions and suggestions he is giving are bizarre. This does not have to be turned, it doesn't have to be spinned like this to be turned into something dark, something bad, something awful, something that, cannot be handled. They're trying to make it seem as though this has become something impossible. And the funny thing is this, guys, they are throwing blame at Ondari and his children. This is not Ondari's fault. How is it Mzee Ondari's fault that this man left his village and is stranded in Nyabohansi, guys? How is it anybody's problem or anybody's fault for that matter? People are just coming out to help this Mzee. They don't have to. They're just doing it out of humanitarian, grounds. They're just feeling for this Mzee. But guys, it is strange how people come out and twist things, turn them around, make them look so dark, make them look strange, bizarre, crazy. Guys, it is just something else. When it comes to this family, people really know how to fight them. Oh my God. But the good thing is this. People out here, nowadays have opened their eyes. We can see what they're all about. Now, the kind of questions Mzee Kuhara is trying to ask, some of them, if people are to follow all these things that they are saying, including Gintu, people are not going to help this Mzee. Now, guys, Gintu had said that he has washed his hands off of this Mzee. But guess what? He actually cannot, because he has realized that this is the cash cow. Remember, guys, Gintu and his sister are the biggest scammers on the streets so far. So Gintu realized that I cannot, lose this opportunity. Probably it is his sister who went and told him, wash hands. Wash hands from what? You don't wash hands that quick. We have got to milk money out of this Mzee. We've got to use him properly. And so Gintu decided to go back to this Mzee. Gintu went and interviewed this Mzee. First of all, Gintu, why are you putting this Mzee in the rain? Guys, they stood in the rain. It was drizzling. And they stood for I don't know how many minutes. Gosh. So finally, they sat down. Gintu started to interview this Mzee. Guys, I've never seen that kind of interview in my life. This Gintu guy is trying to make this man say what he wants. Putting words in his mouth. Gintu was trying each and every trick in the book to make this man say that these people sort of were eyeing his land. This Mzee clearly said, guys, this Mzee clearly said that there was no land for him back in Kisii. Guys, we saw Mzee Ondari, David Jr., Mwango, and Brother Dagi, speak about this thing. Mwango came out to say that she is the one who fueled Brother Dagi's car. By the way, Gintu, it was not the BMW that took Mzee Joseph Kombo to his home. It was Brother Dagi's car, the Pro Box. So, we saw Mwango talking about this. And of course, Mzee Ondari was also there. He explained what they saw, how they went to Kisii, how this man was not accepted back home. He spoke about how they rejected him. They said there's no land for him. I remember us doing these reactions, guys, and wondering, why can this happen to anyone? Why would anybody be rejected in their own home? I mean, that sounded strange to me, guys. I even asked, are these Africans? Even if somebody disappears for a long time, why would you sell their land? Doesn't make sense. But then again, guys, when Gintu was talking to Mzee Joseph Kombo, I realized one thing. And this is something that, I have been asking myself. But I think I got the answer through this interview that Gintu did with him. This Mzee did not have good relations, with his people. This Mzee had abandoned his home. This Mzee had disappeared. Like, how people just go? How you hear that? Guys, these are things that we have seen. I'm sure you all have heard and seen these kinds of things where somebody leaves their home, goes to, say, America, and they do not communicate to people. Nobody knows if they are okay, if they are alive, if they are dead. Nobody knows. And 30 years down the line, you hear that the person is coming home and nobody knows this person. Guys, this guy was not in America. This guy was not in Europe. This guy was not in Australia, in Asia. This guy was not even in another country in Africa. This guy was not even, so far away from home. The guy was in this same country, Kenya. And the guy was not even going back home. When Gintu asked him, when last he went home or something like that, this guy spoke about, he has not been home for a very long time. And he said that he had been living in Mombasa when his father died. And he did not even attend his father's burial. Guys, this Mzee never went back home to attend his own father's funeral. People come from all over the world to attend their parents' burial, but this one, being in Mombasa, he could not. Guys, that in itself tells you something about this Mzee. And the funny thing is that the way he's saying it, he's just saying it casually. Like, he's not even saying that, I did not attend my father's burial because at that time I was sick or this and that was happening in my life. He just said, I did not attend. Like, I just did not attend. Like it was a party. Like it was some sort of birthday party that was going on somewhere. Your own father's burial? Did he have a grudge with the father? Did they have a problem at home? What was happening? For me, guys, I feel like there's more, to the story of this Mzee, pertaining to this relationship with him and his family. For them to just, reject him like that, it doesn't make sense. That's my opinion, guys. And he said it twice. And he actually said that when they got to the chief, I don't know if it's the stepmother or the uncle, some relative, said that this person, when he left, he never came back. And, after his father died, he did not come for the burial and we sold his land. So he is saying that this issue of him not coming to the father's burial was brought up by one of the relatives in that meeting, when Mr. Ondari had taken him back home. So clearly this thing of him not attending the father's burial maybe sent some wrong message to these relatives. They were like, this is somebody who does not care. And by the way, guys, that also leads me to believe that if he cannot even have, that of attending his father's burial, how else do you think he was relating to the others? Like if he cannot attend something as serious as his father's burial. I know I'm saying that so many times. All I'm saying is that if he cannot take that seriously, how else will he? Do you think he was communicating with his, say, brothers or aunties, uncles? Do you think he was communicating with them? I think this is somebody who had just gotten lost in Mombasa. You know how they say about Mombasa, what do they normally say? Kuingia ni harusi, kutoka ni matanga. Which means Mombasa, is a place, to enter, you enter nicely, but to come out is very difficult. Like, it has a lot of pleasure, people, a lot of fun, a lot of, people just go there and get lost. Especially people who are into party, women, alcohol, drugs, and all these kinds of things. You just get there, you cannot come out because there's a lot of it. That is what they say. Mombasa people, do not finish me. That is what they say. Like, you go there, there's a lot of this stuff. So people don't get out easy. Those who love these kinds of things. Guys, this man to be rejected by his own people, what did you do? Mzee Joseph Kombo, what did you do to your people? Guys, there are people who, when they are away, they don't know you. They cannot communicate with you. They cannot even say hi to you. They forget about you. They act as though you don't exist. So now, after, I don't know how many years, and especially, guys, you might find that people are having even problems. I'm not saying, but, I'm just talking, about this in, an African setting, Even when people get sick, you check on them, you call and say, hey, oh, I'm sorry. I had so-and-so's child has passed. I'm so sorry. Send even 1,000 bob, And then you hear somebody else has gone to university. You can even just call, say, congratulations. Something, just have some sort of relationship with your people. But when you go out there, you're in the army, you're feeling like maybe you're on top of the world, you are just having fun in Mombasa, enjoying yourself with all these beautiful girls. Guys, I am just saying, because I do not see how these people can just reject him for nothing. And this is just my opinion. And I'm just creating a scenario. Maybe this is the reason why they rejected him. And the reason that takes me, the thing that makes me, come to that conclusion is his answer. He has never been home for very long, and he did not even attend his own father's burial. That means this guy was detached. He had detached himself from home completely. And so these people decided, you know what? We detach ourselves from you too. So now, guys, Gintu is trying to come up with his shenanigans, trying to apportion blame to Mzee Ondari and his children. Clearly, this man has no land to be scammed. Gintu has started, his stories, trying to twist his audience's mind. Guys, he wants to constantly make them believe that these people are trying something. There's always something sinister going on. Guys, have you noticed every single person that this family helps, it is always because of something. Brian, they're helping so that they can, put money in their pockets. They're helping this other one because of this. Now they're helping this Mzee because they want land. Guys, how silly is that? At least talk about land, that exists. This Mzee clearly states that his land has been sold. There's no land for him. And then Gintu is trying to tell this Mzee to start a court process to get back the land that has been sold. Guys, does this Mzee have that time? Leave alone that time. Can this Mzee do it right now? Does he have the money? Does he have the resources? Can he follow up on this kind of cases right now? Does he have the strength? Or Gintu, do you want to follow it up for him? So you are the one who wants to scam the land. The way I'm looking at it. Because first of all, we have realized you are a scammer. You are a liar. And now, you want this Mzee to start this process? With what money? How? What resources? What time does he have? This Mzee is supposed to be sitting in his house, peacefully, drinking tea, just relaxing. Guys, is this a time for this Mzee to start stressing himself about getting back land? And one thing you will realize is that this Mzee also does not, he does not have those kinds of intentions, because he knows that he himself had detached himself from this home. So he honestly does not even feel that vibe. You know, he does not feel that bond. He does not even feel it. You know, like he wants to go back there, you know, and demand for anything. They have rejected him and he's okay with it. There, look at it. He may not be okay with it, but guys, what can he do? You know, things are thick at the moment. Gintu is lying to this Mzee. But I love that this Mzee was so, you know, this Mzee is a smart man, guys. He is a smart man who just made the wrong choices, who just lived his life in a weird way, a lonely way. You know, he just wanted to be alone. And there are people like that, guys. I'm sure you all have had stories or know people who lived that kind of life, you know. Somebody who you don't know his people. You don't know any of their relatives. And then this person passes on and people have to start looking, digging to find out, you know, where does this person come from? You know, you may know the general area, but you cannot know the specific place, you know. And it is very sad, you know. At least it is just good to have some connection, no matter how little, with your people, no matter who you are, no matter where you go, you know, in this world. And, you know, guys, it is so very disheartening that this guy was actually in this country. He did not need a visa. He did not need, I don't know, whatever. You know, he did not need nothing. He just needed to take a bus and go and see his people once in a while. Or did they wrong him? What did they do to him, guys? You know, this shameless Gintu went on to say that Mzee Ondari, they want to grab this land, invisible land that does not exist. Let's listen to this one.
And understand it keenly. When Mr. Ondari saw this kind of the plot, because we understand the plot has much of the say to the environment, did he mean that maybe he identified that this plot belongs to you? And if it belongs to you, they're going to be tracing or they're going to be filing a case that you might be used to make sure that they're going to be gaining that plot.
That plot, which was mine, they sold it.
Even if it was sold, do they have title deeds?
I don't know.
There is a little bit of a game that we're going to be played here, and that's why I'm talking about which you should be so punctual. You might find that you are introduced into it, and things going to be following the channel, talking about a plot is a very good asset. And right now you understand Kisii is becoming it's a very big town, and they're going to be a city. You know it? So if they're going to be having a city, the fifth city in Kenya, it's going to be Kisii. So right now people are looking forward to understand if you're going to be having a plot in Kisii, you are a millionaire or a billionaire. So do you think that you are taken there so you can just show them your plot? And they're going to be filing the cases to understand that you're going to be put in such kind of the legal system for the plot to be regained.
We can go back to that point when this woman sold it, so that we can know when he sold, and he has put his own.
Okay.
So now on that so that one, on that said, he wrote and come out put it around there, I can be a sheep. Now we are talking useless. What we do, later we go back to Korea, because this word is a lot of many questions. Later we are going, if you kama wewe mwanamke unakataa huyu kijana, sisi tunarudi naye. And they said, you go, we don't have any need.
So your stepmother said you just go, and that's why you came back to Nyaboanse.
That's why, on that day later we go back. So that's why we come back to the same that we reach here around 6
in the evening. That's a little bit of a question mark I'm placing there a little bit, and I understand the way. So my point, another point is, when your sons and daughters came for you from Nyaboanse, why didn't you allow them to go with you?
Those my sons. Those not my sons. They're my sister's sons.
No, and what about, there's a time.
Gintu, just give up. You have no substance. You have no point you're making. There's no issue you're raising there. There is totally nothing. And guys, when I looked at the comment section, I saw people raising the issue of ID. Oh my God, they had his ID. Oh no, they're gonna steal his land. They're gonna take everything away from him. Guys, the ID was clearly to identify the exact area where this man comes from. Here in Kenya, your ID directs somebody to your exact home, your original home. And that is why, when you employ somebody, like say for instance, you employ a shamba boy, house girl, you will take a photocopy of their original ID, and keep it as an employer, Actually, all employers, in Kenya. And this is for security reasons also, because in case of anything, and you run, because guys, most people run to their original homes, to hide in case of anything. They will track you very quick, If, when accidents occur, they check into people's pockets and they find out, where you come from. And, this is how they are able to help you. Or sometimes people get deceased, and this is how they track your people, and something, besides, of course, using your mobile phone and checking the numbers and everything, So this ID was for the purpose of them tracing where this man comes from. Because clearly that is where they wanted. They wanted to take him home, back to his roots, back to his original homeland, where he was born. And the ID is the one that would give them that exact location. So when they took him to the chief in Nyabohanse, or, that area where he was at, of course, this chief directed them to the other chief, in Mosocho area of Kisii, where he comes from. And that is how they got to the place. So I don't understand why these people, are coming out like this. Or maybe they don't understand. It is so funny how people don't want to reason, guys. People don't want to think. Even if somebody says something, even if I come out here and say something, don't you guys have your own brains, to at least reason and say, that doesn't make sense. First of all, this Mzee is clearly stating that he has no land. Gintu is insisting on there is land. He's even telling them that these people, Mzee Ondari and family, want to grab that invisible land. These people are believing in that. And they are actually now even going a step further, talking about that is the reason why they took the ID, so that they can steal, they can grab the... Guys, hey, and no wonder they are Gintu's followers, because they reason exactly like him. Oh my God. Now, guys, Mzee Kuhara has come out with a million questions. The Mzee is asking, why now? Why would they be going, to Mzee Kombo's place at this particular time? Why? He is citing a sinister motive. He is saying that these people are up to no good. These people have a plan, an elaborate plan to do something very crazy. There is something underwater. There is something cooking. These people are up to something. People should watch them very closely. They should be put under a microscope, because they are doing something behind the scenes. He is saying that Mzee Ondari cannot be coming out right now. After a long, long time, he has been staying with this Mzee in that village for so very many years. He has never bothered to ask where this Mzee comes from. How come he is asking about where this Mzee comes from now? Why now? Mzee Kohera is asking those two words. Why now? Guys, he has said that when he looks, beyond, he is saying something that is not right. Something very, very wrong. Guys, he wants the answer to that question. Why now? Guys, I just want to ask Mr. Kuhara a question. Why not now? Is it too late? What is wrong with now? Why not now? Guys, would Mr. Kuhara have preferred they wait until this Mzee passes on, God forbid, so they can start looking for his, home area? I don't want to imagine them going all the way from Nyabohansi to Kisii, with a corpse, only to be rejected. Guys, because it could happen, according to the hostility these people have against this man. So this is the God-appointed time, Mr. Kuhara. This is the time, the right time. Guys, I think Mr. Ondari just looked and saw that, this man has suffered enough, and he has become old. He has become old. Over the years, when they were living with this man, maybe he was strong. He could do his things, he could move around easily and everything. And so Mr. Ondari has gotten to the point where he is looking at him right now and thinking, you know what, Mzee, you need your people, people who are, your family, your blood. Maybe they can take care of you, at this time, at this stage of your life. So he looked at this Mzee and decided, you know what, it is high time, we find out where you come from so that you can go back there, so that you can have a decent life, so that, these bonus years of yours can be decent, a decent living, other than living in a place where sewage is passing, right outside your door. The place is so filthy. Guys, why is Mr. Kuhara asking, why now? Why not now? It is what it is, guys. This is the right time. This is the appointed time. And guys, I feel like, this was bound to happen, and this has happened because, they should know that these people, of this man, this Mzee, don't want him around there, so that they can make other plans for him. Had they not done it now and done it later, when maybe he's deceased or something, things would have been more complicated for them. So I believe that this is the right time, and this is how God would have wanted it to be. Oh yes. So Mzee Kuhara goes on to ask more questions. He goes on to ask, who is going to take care of this Mzee in the new house that they want to build for him? Who is going to take care of him, now that he's an old Mzee who needs care, who needs people around him? He doesn't have any kids. He doesn't have a wife. Who is going to take care of this Mzee? Yes, they want to build him a good house. Yes, they want to buy him a plot, to build a beautiful house on. But who is going to take care of him? Guys, why are people going ahead of issues? Why does he want to jump the gun? When we get there, we shall know. Sometimes, guys, you make decisions just, with the circumstances that you're working with at the moment. But then again, guys, people can be employed to take care of this Mzee. Duh, Mzee Kuhara. Somebody can be, employed, to take care of him, cook his meals, wash his clothes, just be around him. Hand him something in case, he is still strong, but yes, he needs somebody to take care of him. As years go by, he will, of course, become more and more, because due to aging, we understand all that. But guys, Mr. Kuhara is asking about this like it's something that is impossible. Like, what are they doing? Where are they building him a house? Who's going to take care of him? Have they considered that? I mean, come on, Mzee Kuhara. First of all, people are not worried about that at the moment. And yes, that is something that can be taken care of very easily by employing somebody to take care of him. He also asks, guys, Mzee Kuhara also asks, where is he going to get buried? Where is Mzee Kombo in case of anything? In case of anything, where is he going to be buried? Because he says that according to the Kisii, customs, an elder like Mzee Joseph Kombo cannot be buried anywhere. He has to be buried at his own ancestral home. Well, Mzee Kuhara, you're right. You're actually right. However, guys, sometimes things, have to be done the way they have to be done. This man has been rejected from his home. So clearly, in case of anything, he has to be buried, guys. He has to be buried wherever, however. Because Mzee Kuhara is asking, are they again going to take him back to Kisii, where he has been rejected? My answer would be, and this is my opinion, guys, no. They may go and tell his people, your king has passed. Would you want to take his body to bury him? If they refuse, then he can be buried, in his land, the land that will have been bought for him. Mzee Kuhara, I come from the Kisii community, and I can tell you for free that sometimes when push comes to shove, or when things go combo, you take it as it is. Guys, there are circumstances that will lead for somebody not to be able to be buried in their own ancestral home. For instance, I have relatives who passed on in the USA during COVID time. Planes were not flying to Africa. They were definitely not flying to Kisii. There is no way they could have been buried here. So they are buried right now in New Jersey, USA. Has anything happened? No. Yes, this thing of being buried in your ancestral home is a thing in the Kisii community. But then again, guys, I know many Kisiis who have bought land in Molo, other places in this country. And they have been buried there, or one of their kin dies and they bury them in that place, where they relocated to. That is their new home. Their original land is Kisii, but guys, it is what it is. These customs, sometimes you cannot carry them everywhere. Sometimes things happen, So Mzee Kuhara, in case of anything, guys, of which we do not want it to happen like that, But in case of anything, Mzee Joseph Kombo can be laid to rest exactly where he has bought land. It is that simple. And nothing will happen. That's just the truth. So Mzee Kuhara, don't come out here and try to complicate things. No matter who you are on this planet, if you pass on, you will have somewhere to be buried. This thing of people coming out here to say, oh, where are you going to be buried? If you don't do this, oh, how are you going to be buried? Guys, everybody will be buried somehow. Even the street urchins, they get buried at the end of the day. Yeah. And then again, guys, this man has been rejected at his home. In case they take the corpse there and it is rejected, what are they supposed to do? They will have to bury him elsewhere, even if it's at the cemetery, wherever. So Mzee Kuhara, he will have somewhere to be buried. You don't have to worry about that.
Let them construct a bungalow for Joseph. Nobody knows. Let everybody support. But who is going to take care of Joseph in that house? Because according to him, he's saying he has no children, he has nobody, even his sister's children. Now, who is going to take care of that old man in that bungalow? Secondly, this is an aging old man. Because according to him, he was born in 1938. And this is 2025. So around, is it 87 years? I don't know. Which years? Also, is 87 or 97? I don't know. Can you calculate there? Which means I'm not judging. But in this age here, we as human beings, we are eating bonus from God. It is a bonus, God adding you bonus. Now, supposing this old man passes on, where is he going to be buried? Because according to the Kisii culture An elder like Joseph can never get buried outside his ancestral land. And whatever they are going to buy for him is not ancestral. Where will he be buried?
And if you think that Mzee Kuhara is done, think again. He still has more questions that have to be answered. Let's take a listen to him some more.
I'm very sorry to say I'm not his God, I'm not judging, but according to the age. Because, you see, passing on is inevitable. You cannot avoid. You cannot avoid. Now, where will he be kept? Will they go back at the Cardinal Tunga and bury him in a cemetery? When actually he has accepted that he went and met his uncle. Don't you see this is a trick? Whereby Ondari said, okay, now, this is nonsense taking place here. Let us go back to Korea. From your maternal, from your ancestral land to a foreign, clever hunters. They are using Joseph to get donations. But let it be like that. Who will inherit his property if he passes on? Because he is single. He has no any relative apart from Ondari's family. He has no any other relative at Nyabohanse apart from the Ondari. Given that they all come from Kisiland, who is the higher? Now, ladies and gentlemen, what did you think are the prognosis? What are the outcomes after this? What are the general? What will happen? What are the prognosis? What are the outcomes after the passing of this holy man and his house at Nyabohanse and the bungalow where the subscribers will donate and he gets a house? What next? Thank you very much. Comment.
That one, guys, I leave it to you guys. What is going to be the prognosis? In Mzee Kuhara's words, what is going to be the outcome of this whole issue? Who is going to be the heir of Mzee Kombo's staff? Who is going to take over the land and the house in case of anything? In case Mzee Kombo is not around? All these things. Who is going to be the owner, guys? This guy is asking the questions, guys. I told you all. I leave you all to answer that question for this guy. Because I do not understand why he is thinking that far. Does he mean, Mzee Kuhara, are you trying to say a house should not be built for this Mzee? This Mzee should not be bought for land because he is all alone. He doesn't have kids. He doesn't have a wife. You know, you say that his wife, you know, he actually said it himself, Mr. Kombo, that his wife and kids left, you know. And so because he is all alone right now, are you trying to suggest, Mr. Kuhara, that these people, you know, should not help this Mzee? He has been rejected from his home. So what do you want to happen right now? Because when they help him, you are saying that they're building him a house and, you know, buying land for him in Korea so that if something happens to him, they can take over, you know. They can take over his land and his house. Because clearly, guys, he is saying that the only people who this Mzee has, you know, are Mr. Ondari and his family. And so he is trying to say that these are the people who are going to take over the land and the house. Guys, Mzee Ondari has so many pieces of land. Why do people behave like this? You know, people like Gintu and this Mzee. Gintu trying to insinuate that they want to grab land that is not there. This Mzee Kuhara talking about they are doing this so that at the end of it all they can remain with these things. Mzee Ondari has his own things. I don't think he is, eyeing anybody's stuff. This Mzee is a hardworking, man with his own stuff. So now what do you want to happen, Mzee Kuhara? Guys, what do you think he wants to happen? Why don't you take him and keep him at your home? Keep him at your home, take care of him, so that these clever hunters cannot take his land and his house, so that these clever hunters do not use him for donations. This man is just trying to be helped. These people are just trying to help him. And these people, guys, are coming out with all these bizarre stories. Twisting everything, spinning everything, around. Can you believe these people? Can you believe these people? Wow. Oh my goodness, guys. So according to Mzee Kuhara, this is all a plot. He makes it seem as though Mzee Ondari and his children sat down, told these people, when we bring your people, we bring your person, reject him, so that now we can come and ask the donors to come and support building a house, buy the land, build a house. And guys, he actually even wants to sound as though, he knows that something is going to happen very soon, after the house and the land has been bought. It does not make sense, guys. This bad mind is going too far. On a serious note, all I would want to tell Mr. Kuhara is to give a suggestion, a viable suggestion of what should happen. How Mr. Kombo can be helped without him being used, like he is saying, without people taking his stuff. Guys, if you're here and you have not subscribed to this channel, please take this moment to hit the subscribe button. And if you have not liked this video, please also take a moment to hit the like button. Also, let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you think about Gintu saying that he has washed his hands of this Mzee and then now again going to interview this Mzee. It's as though he went and slept over this issue and decided, this is content. And he came back to create, stories that don't make sense. What do you think about Mzee Kuhara? With all these things that he is saying, complicating the whole situation, while trying to, he's saying all these things to dissuade people not to help this Mzee. But of course, we all know that it will not work. But I just want him, to come out with a solution. What do you all think? And for the question he has asked, what is the prognosis? Guys, drop your comments, drop your thoughts, sentiments. Let me know how you feel in the comment section. Let's have this conversation. Let's have this discussion. Let's keep it hot in the comment section, And let us meet in the next video. Bye-bye.
Speak it to set you free. Speak the truth. Speak the truth. It's MORAA, your African daughter. Don't paint pictures bigger than the frame to tarnish good people's names. Your tainted lessons, evil missions, telling tales just for fame. Truth teller, I see through the game. Truth teller, calling out the shame. Truth teller, standing in the rain. Truth teller, breaking every chain.